Okay, so we've all been told that food is fuel, right? But when we're talking about fertility and your hormones, honestly, that's only half the story. The truth is, food is information. Every single bite you take sends a direct message to your body, and it's influencing your hormones, your gut, even your health right down to the cellular level. So, let's dive into how you can take control of that conversation.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start by finding a hidden culprit. Then we'll explore the huge role your gut plays, get into something called insulin resistance, look at what foods to put on your plate, and then we'll wrap it all up with a simple, effective action plan.
All right, first up, let's unmask this hidden bad guy, a factor that could be quietly messing with your hormonal health without you even knowing it's there. And there it is. The villain of our story is chronic inflammation. Think of it like a low-grade, constant state of emergency inside your body. It can disrupt literally everything, from ovulation and sperm quality to whether an embryo can even implant. This is the root cause we really need to get a handle on. So if that's the problem, where does the solution begin? Well, the scene of the crime, and also our first line of defense, is your gut. And trust me, it is so much more than just a tube for your food. Now, get this. This protective barrier, this wall between everything you eat and your entire bloodstream is just one single cell thick. Isn't that wild? When it's healthy, it's an incredible security system. But when it's not, well, that's when it gets compromised. This is what people call leaky gut. Basically, inflammation causes the cells in that gut lining to kind of shrink back, creating these little gaps. And those gaps allow inflammatory particles from your food to leak directly into your bloodstream, which triggers a body-wide immune response and drives that chronic inflammation we were just talking about. So, okay, if we want to keep that gut lining strong and healthy, we've got to feed it the right stuff. But what exactly is the preferred fuel for all those good bacteria in our gut? The good guys who fight inflammation and even help process our hormones. The answer is fiber. And get this, only fiber. It is the one and only food source for your gut microbiome. These microbes are like essential workers for your body, and keeping them well fed with fiber from fruits and vegetables and whole grains is one of the absolute best ways to calm down gut inflammation and support your hormonal balance. Now, this brings us to inflammation's powerful partner in crime, insulin resistance. This is the key link that connects what's on your plate to all sorts of hormonal chaos. Okay, to really get this, let's use a little story. Imagine insulin is a salesman. So you eat something, and glucose, that sugar, enters your blood. Your pancreas sends out the insulin salesman to knock on your cell's door and let the glucose in for energy. Simple, right? But if you're constantly eating high-sugar, processed foods, that salesman is knocking on the door all the time. And eventually, your cell just gets annoyed and stops answering. So what does your body do? It panics and sends even more salesmen, more insulin, to bang even louder on the door. This whole situation creates a state of super high insulin, which is intensely inflammatory and directly messes with ovarian function. And while diet is a huge piece of the puzzle, it's not the only thing. Chronic stress, not getting enough sleep, and just not moving your body enough, all of these things also contribute to insulin resistance. See, it's all connected. All right, so we've laid out the problems, inflammation and insulin resistance. Now let's pivot to the fun part, the solution. Let's talk about exactly how we can build a plate that fights back. First up, carbs. And no, they are not all created equal. The most important thing here is something called the glycemic index. Basically, how quickly a food jacks up your blood sugar. Simple carbs, like white bread, cause a huge fast spike, which makes that insulin salesman start banging on the door. But complex carbs, like sweet potatoes or brown rice, they give you a slow, steady release of energy. And that keeps your blood sugar stable and keeps inflammation way down. And when it comes to protein, the data is pretty clear. Research actually shows that swapping in more plant-based proteins, we're talking lentils, beans, tofu, is linked with better ovulation rates. On the flip side, a high intake of red meat is connected to higher inflammation and even poorer embryo quality. So yeah, where you get your protein from really, really matters. Finally, let's talk about fat. Your body literally cannot make steroid hormones like progesterone without cholesterol. So going on a super low-fat diet can actually be a bad move. The key is to focus on healthy, unsaturated fats from sources like avocados, nuts, and good olive oil. These are the good guys that give your body the essential building blocks it needs for healthy hormones. So how do we pull all this info together into a simple plan that you can actually stick with? Let's build our fertility action plan. This is it. This is your formula. Try to get 2 servings of fruits and veggies with every single meal. That'll help you hit that 25-gram fiber goal. Maybe try meatless Mondays to naturally get more plant-based protein. Try to limit red meat to just once a week and make a real effort to avoid added sugars and those ultra-processed foods. Drink lots of water. And here's the surprising one. If you do eat dairy, studies actually show that full-fat options are linked to better ovulation than the low-fat stuff.
And I just want to leave you with this thought. Making these changes, it isn't just about a short-term goal. It's about laying a foundation for your overall hormonal health and your long-term wellness for years to come. So the question isn't just what you're eating for fertility, but what information are you choosing to give your body for life?